Before we begin today's video, I just want to say Happy Veterans Day, and I wanted to say thank you to all those who have served our country or are currently serving our country. Thank you for all the things you do, all the sacrifices you have made, and know that me and many others are praying for your safe return home, or for your safety and for your health and well-being after you have served. God bless, and let's get right into day number 11. Hi, it's Maddie. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. Welcome to day number 11, November 11th, 2018 of Diabetes Awareness Month. You kind of got an intro to what we're going to talk about today in yesterday's video. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you for those of you who have tagged along for this ride and journey with me, and those of you that have subscribed or commented or just interacted with me. I appreciate it. I enjoy it. Thanks for, like I said, supporting me on this journey with diabetes, and obviously hygiene school is coming up soon, so I hope to be giving you a little bit more about me other than just diabetes. Diabetes is something I live with, but it is not the only thing that is a part of me. So anyways, we will jump into the 11th question. What are ketones, and why do ketones matter to a type 1 diabetic? So, ketones are a biological byproduct that comes from our body breaking down fat for energy. Ketones themselves aren't dangerous in low quantities. However, for a diabetic, if the quantity of ketones in either the bloodstream or urine become too high, this can indicate that we are entering a part of diabetes that some of us have gone through, and I have explained, I believe, on my 5th day, called diabetic ketoacidosis. Ketones themselves, biologically speaking, and on a biochemical point, I did take biochemistry. I kind of understand a little bit of the chemistry and how they are built and why they're acidic, but I won't explain that because that would probably bore the heck out of you. But anyways, based upon how they are structured, they are acidic, the way that all the molecules are laid out. So therefore, if there are too many in your blood, specifically your blood turns acidic. If there are too many in your urine, and if you're passing it out in your urine, that indicates that your blood sugars are so high that there's not enough insulin to take care of the high sugars in your bloodstream to use that for energy. So instead, you're indicated through ketones, through either taking a urine or a blood sample at home, that your body is using fat for energy instead of using the sugar or the carbohydrates in your blood for energy. That being said, most of us either use blood ketone meters or ketone urine sticks to determine if we have ketones present. For me, I use urine sticks. Typically, when do you test for these ketones? A lot of diabetic educators and healthcare providers say to test if you're over 240 milligrams per deciliter. I will put that in millimoles here. But for me personally, I test anytime my blood sugar is above 200 because I don't really get above 200 a whole ton. For the most part, if I keep myself on a schedule and that I don't eat a whole box of chocolates for lunch or something like that, but I haven't done that. Anyways, with that being said, I test if my blood sugar is over 200. The main reason why I did this is because one night I had tested my blood sugar, I'd say about a week and a half ago, and it read 222 milligrams per deciliter. I will put it in millimoles per liter here. And I was kind of like, why am I 222? I didn't eat anything really like sugary or fast acting on my body that night. And I took my insulin injection, and the only thing I can think of is some of the insulin back leaked out of the needle and the pen. I think part of it might have been dehydration too. So I thought, okay, 222 at bed. I probably was higher a little bit before then, so I should take a ketone test, right? So I got my ketone test strips out, peed on one of them, and the result was trace. You basically match a color up and you line up whatever the colors sample says from your pee. Basically, the stick has certain chemical reagents that that cause a color change on the pad of the stick if you have ketones present. So if you have very little ketones present, the color change is slight. If you have a lot of ketones in your urine, the color change is very dark. So for me, it was just barely light. So when I lined it up, it was between negative and trace. And I'm like, oh goodness, trace ketones. It was the first time I had truly had ketones since being diagnosed in diabetic ketoacidosis. I've had blood sugars higher than that at like 270 something, like I had mentioned in my hyperglycemia video yesterday, and I had tested my ketones at that point, and I had no ketones, but yet I was 222 and had trace ketones. So for my personal standards, that is why I test for ketones at any blood sugar above 200. Again, I manage my diabetes different than somebody else does. Somebody might not have to worry about ketones for them until they hit 250. I don't know. There are some exceptions to the rule where some people have ketones at even lower blood sugars than 200. Again, depends on the person, depends on their body. And like I said, ketones themselves aren't dangerous. It's what the dangerous part about them is if you get them in high quantities and they change your blood pH or they spill into your urine, which usually means you are breaking down fat for energy instead of using sugar or carbohydrates. I'm gonna go grab my ketone urine stick. So for those of you who are newly diagnosed that have not seen these yet, or for those of you who are non-diabetics that are just interested in this kind of stuff, you can see what they look like. So I'll be right back. Here they are. These are the ketone test strips I use. I'm gonna try to let it focus. And these are in a bottle. Some are foil wrapped individually, but if you can see in here, everybody, for whatever reason, the ketone strips didn't show up. So I'm gonna show you them again. I don't know if you guys can see very good, but way at the bottom, like right in here, or right there, that little tan spot, that's the little pad that you put your urine on or dip your urine into. And then what you do is after 15 seconds, you're able to read your result. Here they are read in milligrams per deciliter for the urine. You could tell if you're negative, which is on this end for you guys, you're going to be, you know, kind of a lighter tan. If you're trace, you're kind of a salmony pink. If you're small, you're going to be like a bright pink. Medium is like a magenta. Obviously, like the large, your ketones, you're going to be like a really dark magenta or even like a brownish purpley red, like really dark. So for me, I was at that trace mark. Usually don't worry if you're anywhere between negative and small, but if you start getting mediums to large and you can't get them down, you're going to want to immediately go to the ER and see if you're in the ketoacidosis state, and if that's the case, they're going to pump you full of fluid, get you some insulin in you for whatever reason that your body wasn't responding to the stuff you use at home. That's the main thing with these. These expire, for me, if you have these, if they're, like for me, that you're wrapped individually, or that they're in a one tube and they're all unwrapped and they're kind of loose, these expire 6 months after you open them. So for me, I opened these the 10th of October of this year, and so for me, they're going to expire next April. I think I have 47 of the 50 left in here. I only did a few tests, but if I don't use all of these up by the time April rolls around, I either have to throw them out or just keep them for, I don't know. I'd rather just throw them out because these are fairly cheap and inexpensive. Your doctor will give you a script for them. They're only like $5 at most pharmacies. People, again, use like the blood meters. I personally don't have one. Maybe I'd get one in the future where you can poke your finger and you put it on a special test strip that reads ketones. If you have a ton of ketones in your blood, that is not good either. But it's more dangerous knowing that if you have ketones spilling in your urine, because at that point, your body's trying to flush the excess that's in your blood to the urine system. That being said, I think this concludes everything there is to know about ketones. I'm sorry for the breaks in between. I'm using my phone to film these videos, and sometimes I get calls and texts that kind of like shut the video off, so I apologize for that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope your blood sugars are good if you are a type 1 diabetic. Until tomorrow for day number 12 of the Diabetes Awareness Month. Take care, God bless, and see you tomorrow. Bye.